Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my Storm fans out there. It's me, your captain speaking. Double the fun? Yes, indeed. We are playing 2 wills tonight. If you give me just one moment, I'm going to make sure that you and everybody else that you care about, including maybe somebody that you don't care about, knows that this stream is happening right now. Come on in and join. I'll see you soon. Welcome everybody, welcome to the video, and thank you Richard LeMay for becoming a Storm fan. That is an excellent way to start out this stream tonight. I appreciate you, thank you for the support. I am really excited to get this going, especially now. And let's talk about what we're doing. We're going to be playing BUG Storm. So this is, a couple of weeks ago we played Peer into the Abyss Storm, and it was a deck that played Peer into the Abyss and Force of Will and Cabal Ritual. This is kind of like that. But instead of playing Peer into the Abyss, we're going to be playing Beseech the Mirror and Gaea's Will. You all know what this does. We're going to be using Gaea's Will and Beseech the Mirror to get around the suspend requirements of Gaea's Will and cast it whenever we want to. And then we have a build your own Yawgmoth's Will in Legacy. The last time that happened was with Underworld Breach, and that didn't last for very long if I remember correctly, right? So, oh, and we also have this As Foretold, which if we have Gaea's Will in our hand, we can actually just cast from our hand. As Foretold also kind of works similarly to get around the suspend requirements for Gaea's Will. So pretty excited about that. This is a very blue heavy combo deck, right? We have Brainstorm, Ponder, and Preordain as our Cantrip Cartel. We're playing a little bit more of the long game here. We've got Force of Wills and Fluster Storms and Thought Seizes, an entire playset of Dress Down. Now, obviously this is incredible against the hate bears of the format. We're talking Thalia, of course, and Archon Myria, of course, but another popular one that's been coming around recently is Lavinia, Azorius Renegade. So Dress Down functions as an answer to all of that. Oh, we got a cat hanging out here. And Dress Down is also a blue card to pitch to Force of Will, right? So we have 10, 14, 21 blue cards, so 20 blue cards for Force of Will, right? Obviously, the one force is the one that we're casting. So this is a pretty decent count, but we need those Dress Downs to actually pull their weight. So, yes, Zachariah, that is a lot of will. We have double the will, double the fun. In you could see that in the thumbnail and the title. That's kind of the thing, right? We're playing Force of Will, and we are playing Gaea's Will. Everybody's exerting their will on the game, and we're going to be the ones to come out on top. By the way, there's a playset of 4-drops. I say play set of 4-drops. There's Sheoldred the Apocalypse and the One Ring. These are going to be also Beseech the Mirror targets, and we're going to really be excited about that one. So without further ado, I am already queued up for a league. I've already talked quite a bit about this deck, and you know what? I'm really excited. Let's just start playing. Let's get into a league match, and while we wait for our first opponent, let me tell you a little bit about the deck and how you can see it via Moxfield. The deck list is in the description below. Moxfield is a really cool tool that a lot of Magic players use, and you should be too. Let me tell you a little bit about it.
Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks.
Alrighty, so we're still waiting for our round 1 opponent, but oh man, I'm really excited about this, right? We've got a bunch of disruption in the form of Force of Will and Flusterstorm and Thoughtseize. Really excited about that. We just get to play a little bit longer in terms of our game plan, right? We don't have a bunch of 0-drops for bargaining because we're going to draw our Lotus Petals or our Vault of Whispers or our Seat of the Synod or Dress Downs. Dress Downs are also fantastic ways to bargain our Beseeches, right? So, and then at the end of the day, we can also just play Sheoldred and start crashing in. Let's put this all to the test. We are in round 1, and we won the die roll. I am going to play first. This is going to be exciting. This is a turn 2 Sheoldred, and I can lead on a basic island and cast a Ponder. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I know that typically you can cast a Preordain and then a Ponder, but I'm not necessarily looking for anything specific. I guess a Force of Will would be good. Maybe I should Preordain trying to dig for a Force of Will specifically. I know that Ponder sees more cards, but Preordain kind of has that ability to put 2 cards that you don't want potentially on the bottom of the deck and draw a fresh one. I'm gonna go with Preordain. There's a Force of Will and a Cabal Ritual, so we don't necessarily have to burn one of these Lotus Petals. I'm all good with this. I'm going to keep everything, and I'm going to just pass the turn. So we don't have to necessarily storm out. Newton, hello. Welcome in. We're playing some BUG Beseech Storm, and we're actually just going to be beating in with Sheoldred. Force of Will protected Sheoldred on turn 2. I'm pretty excited about that. Tropical Island, and oh, we're playing against Bogles. Okay, so Tropical Island, I'm expecting something like Daze and Force of Will from my opponent as well, but Bogles, I'm shocked. This is not something that I would have expected to see here. Yeah, that's going to resolve. I think that my Sheoldred is going to beat this. Death Touch is pretty good. You know, obviously they can get some first strike going on, but this is still a 5-butt, so they're going to have to put a lot of auras on there to kind of get around this. We're also going to be able to do this and play around Daze. They're representing Daze with their Tropical Island. This seems like a kind of tempo-y shell. I'm not sure. This is an interesting brew from our opponent for sure. How are we all doing tonight? I had a pretty good day, but how were your all days? All of y'all's days. There we go. I can't speak. Okay, there's the Cabal Ritual that we know about. And let's play a Lotus Petal and another Lotus Petal, a Cabal Ritual, and let's see. Nick, I will ask. Force of Will, exiling a Curious Obsession. Okay. And a Cattail. Kind of what we expected. Some kind of blue deck. I messaged them and they said it's a work in progress for Jank Week at F&M at their store, which I'm super excited about, but they will send it over. So, Nick, ping me after this league in the member section of the Discord, and I'll see if I can get that. So, our Sheoldred resolved. And I think that we're going to see how this fares, okay? Hey, how's it going, John? And we're going to auto-yield to this trigger. I want this to happen as quickly as possible. They're not attacking. Wow, who would have thought? Okay, Force of Will is pretty good. We're going to go into combat, hopefully. And see what happens. So it doesn't look like they're playing white necessarily. But they could be playing some bounce spells instead. I'm not sure. We're going to see if the Sheoldred goes coast to coast. Cracking in for 6 every turn is pretty good. It'll be over in 4 turns. Okay. 3 turns. I forgot. Force of Will and Scalding Tarn. Yeah. All right. And yeah, they conceded. Sheoldred the Apocalypse gets there, and they didn't even see any of our Storm combo. I am not going to be playing any of our targeted removal. Who would have thought? Man, I don't know if I want to... I mean, Veil of Summer, maybe. That's the only thing that I could think of. Abrupt... I'm like, okay, so Chain of Vapor, Abrupt Decay, Echoing Truths, these can bounce the auras on equipment, or on the creature. But I don't know how good that is. I love Dress Down. Dress Down is stupid good against this, right? Man, I wish that had come up in game 1. Okay, if I'm playing Veil of Summer as protection, which I really don't know if I need to do that. I always cut Preordains. I don't know if that's a problem with me or not, but cutting Preordains, man, that card is just like mid as hell. I don't know. We're going to do that. Yeah, Clawtooth Edicts would definitely be good here, but we don't need the Edicts in Storm. It is an As Foretold, John. Yes, absolutely. This is our way of casting the Gaia's Will from our hand. I don't need the Empty the Warrens. I don't need the Carpets. I'm just going to submit this deck list. Right. If this was a more controlling deck or something that was going to go longer, or a tempo deck, I would bring the Carpets in. I don't know how much of a blue... I mean, they're playing Force of Will. Maybe the Carpets were fine. Maybe I should have reconsidered those Carpets. If we get a game 3, then remind me and we'll do some Carpet stuff. I'm going to keep this hand. Oh, and they've mulliganed to 5. Okay. John, it does not have... I mean, I can cast things for free even if they're 0 drops, right? I mean, I'm going to put a time counter on there, and maybe I get a free Bonder or a free Cabal Ritual, right? So it's not fantastic, but it's not nothing. Okay, so they're playing Bant, potentially. So they are playing white. They showed me Rug fetches, but Scalding Tarn can fetch any island, and if they're just playing a mess of islands, then they don't need to play on-color fetches as much. So I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea here and Ponder. I'm not particularly worried about Wasteland. Well, you know what? Maybe I should be. Just because if I get my mana underneath myself, then I don't have to worry about anything from them as far as mana disruption. You know, Newton, this is Bogles. This is just Slippery Boggle. In the namesake of the deck right here, it is, they're going to put a bunch of auras on their Bogles and crash in for damage. Okay, Beseech the Mirror and land number 3. I'm okay with that. I don't need the Brainstorm, but I do want the Beseech, and land 3 is not upsetting. Obviously, I can change all of this around with my Brainstorms here, which I may need to do. I don't know. Yeah, Newton, they said that they were, working on some jank for their Jank Week F&M at the store. Oh, my cat. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. I don't know. They're gonna send me the list. We're all excited about what that's looking like. Yeah, I doubt that this. Yeah, see, there's an aura on their Bogle. This is not an Infect deck. This is a Bogles deck. So. Look at this. This is the Wombo combo. Slippery Boggle with a Curious Obsession. You know, it's probably time that Angus says hello. Oh no, he ruined my focus. That's alright. My opponent is drawing cards. I gotta step out of frame. This is the only way that if he walks in front and screws up the focus, then I gotta really pull him a lot of weight. 1 second. See, there we go. Everything's fine. Okay, and I apologize. Mismatched fetches. This is what I get for not having every card available on Magic Online. So, okay, Force of Will is nice. I don't think that I'm gonna need this as foretold, and I don't think that I need a pair of Brainstorms. This One Ring might be decent. That might bridge the gap, so to speak. Yeah, if I put back As Foretold and Brainstorm, then I can just pass the turn and we're all good. Yeah, we do need a cat emoji, right? Obviously. I don't know what the next emoji is. We already have Beseech. That was fantastic. We had a bunch of members that came in and joined, which if you want to become a member, we can unlock another emote. I don't know how far away we are. We might be, a dozen members away. So once it gets kind of close, then I'll make sure to let you all know and we can figure out what the next emote is going to be. Well, they're drawing a bunch of cards. They're missing land drops. Obviously, their mulligan to 5 isn't super amazing. Curiosity. Okay. Well, it's not going to kill my cat, but it might kill me. Okay. So we're going to fetch. I'll get the basic swamp here. And draw. Okay, another Beseech. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sack. Okay. What if I just play out the One Ring? I think that isn't the worst thing in the world. And I can do it off of Cabal Ritual. No, I think I can do it off of Lotus Petal. And since I'm protecting it with the Force of Will here, then the One Ring can be my bargain for Beseech in the following turn. Yeah. Although that plays into days. That's all right. They don't have it. I don't have any green in the main deck besides a Veil of Summer. I'll get a Tropical Island anyway. Azorius Bogles in Historic with Luris before they added Alchemy cards and you stopped playing the format. Wow. Yeah, Bogles with Luris seems pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Just being able to replay the auras on a creature after it dies for some reason, right? I like it. Luris is a busted Magic card. Unban the cat. I would be interested to see where the cat falls in terms of the new companion errata, right? With the pay 3 to put it in your hand. I don't know. Might be fine. Oh boy! We got a Commandeer in the game. Okay, I haven't seen this since my opponent cast Commandeer on my Adnaz. A local of mine, and their name's Leo. Okay, Commandeer gets forced. That's disgusting. If they daze and gain control of my One Ring, which doesn't look like it's happening, thank goodness. Okay. Wow. They're very upset that their Commandeer didn't resolve. Yeah, Nick, it's really not tearing Vintage apart, but it's really hard to tear Vintage apart. Luris did pre-errata, right? It's the first power level ban that we've ever gotten. Okay. They're telling me how janky their deck is, and I'm telling them how excited I am to get this list as soon as they send it to me. Okay, we got Bant. Ethereal Armor, yes, this makes sense. I mean, Bant does make sense because the best auras are, in fact, white. They can't deal combat damage to me, so they can't actually draw cards. My cat is eating my monitor because my face is moving on it. That really stinks. What a weird thing. Okay. We take one. We got to Thoughtseize them. They're hellbent, so Thoughtseize is not doing what we want it to. But we do have Threshold, so let's draw a card with the One Ring. Force of Will. Okay. I think, okay, so I'm taking 6 next turn and they're drawing a couple of cards. I don't have lethal. What I can do is essentially just cantrip twice. Well, hold up. 1, 2. I really shouldn't have played my land for what it's worth. This Seat of the Synod, if I had thought about it for a second, I could have drawn with the One Ring before playing my land drop, and my seat could have been a second bargain for Beseech. So 1, 2, Guy's Will is 3. And then Cabal Ritual is 4, Lotus Petal is 5, Brainstorm, Ponder 6, 7, Beseech is 8, Tendrils is 9. So if I get a castable with the Ponder, then I'm good. Ponder and Brainstorm. I'm like 1 storm away. Oh, I have the Thoughtseize. I think this is just lethal. Yeah. I really do think that this is just lethal. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize them on the front side. Gaea's Will. Cast it. Play a Lotus Petal. Black. Cabal Ritual. Brainstorm. Well, that's definitely it. Dark Ritual. Oh, I don't have a bargain because I used... That was silly. That was really silly. Okay, I don't have a bargain, but I can get the One Ring, yes, but Beseech can get so Beseech is -1, so that gets not what I want. Yeah, I might as well just One Ring. That was really silly. Let's draw with this. I really should have done better. That was terrible. Okay. Well, I have the One Ring protection. Zachariah, this is Storm. We were storming off. We just didn't get there because I forgot that I needed a bargain, a bargainable permanent. You know, I don't typically need to think about that in the Epic Storm because everything is a bargainable permanent, but that's definitely not the case in this deck, and that's potentially an issue. I was 1 spell off, for what it's worth. I didn't need to necessarily Stormant. Yeah, that's true. You're right, Clawtooth. This is not storming. That's okay. I mean, I did storm. I just didn't finish the job. I was casting a lot of spells. Okay, they got 1 card in hand. Yawgmoth's Bargain is a bargainable card. I wonder how many spells have bargain in their name and how many of them are bargainable cards. It was a light shower. This is true. Okay, let's draw. Okay, Sheoldred's pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cast the Sheoldred. Sheoldred and the One Ring are a little bit of a combo, which is nice. And then what I can do is gain some life. Okay, Dress Down is not bad. Dark Ritual. I don't need the Force of Will. And then I can draw the Dress Down next turn, potentially. Dress Down and Sheoldred are not the greatest things ever. Let's do this. We might be able to just fair tendrils them out with the Dark Ritual and the Sheoldred and all this good stuff, and we're going to be drawing a bunch of cards and gaining a bunch of life. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. G-Pender, and good Oops All Spells deck. I don't know what you mean. I am trying to play Saturday, Dan. Yes. Also, hey, hi, welcome to chat. I am probably playing Saturday. It is kind of like Blue-Black Show and Tell. It is a Blue-Black based combo control deck, right? Okay, so this has first strike, so I'm not going to do anything about that. And then they get to draw some cards. They get to draw 2 cards, but they lose 2 life, and they're not... Oh, they are Maze. Okay, Curiosity is a May. Curious Obsession is also a May. Okay, so they are purposefully drawing cards. Interesting. Bob, I'd like triggers that I would miss in paper for 500. So that's definitely not something that I would have remembered. G-Pender, it's kind of like Doomsday. Yeah, Force of Will, win the game card. It just requires a different deck build up, right? It is an engine combo deck, whereas Doomsday is a 1-card combo deck. I really wish that I had spent the time during, I guess, lockdown, to really get good at Doom. Yeah, John, that's exactly like Death and Taxes. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of death, and the taxes are that you have to sit there and... here we go. They're going off. Okay. Doesn't matter. Their creature is tapped. Okay, we lose 2 life, and then we're going to draw some cards. Okay. Not bad, not bad. They're at 13. I think that this is just lethal. They have no cards in hand, too. I definitely think this is lethal. So what I can do is Beseech, and then this is another Beseech sack, and then Tendrils. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite there. So what I can do is Dress Down. That's going to be another Storm. I get to draw a card. I don't care about the Sheoldred at this moment. This is not my avenue to victory. I guess I could have done this in combat, but they did actually literally leave up a creature to block. Okay. Bargain this. And then Beseech the Mirror. And bargain the Dress Down. My Sheoldred is back online for what it's worth. And then Beseech the Mirror, bargain the Lotus Petal, and then the Tendrils of Agony is going to be lethal. So we kind of... got there. It took a little bit. I'm messaging my opponent. I want the deck list link. But we did get there eventually because, you know, the One Ring is pretty good and Beseech is pretty good. Sheoldred and the One Ring is really good. They're going to send me the deck list, which is pretty exciting. So if you're a member of the Discord, if you're a member of the YouTube channel, you have access to the members section of the Storm Discord. And if you want, I will share our opponent's Bogles list with you. Just let me know. So we are 1-0, loving that. Okay, so let's get started on round 2. let me tell you a little bit about an awesome opportunity that you have to up your combo game in the way of Eternal Weekend with our token pack. You know, you can't use dice to actually keep track of mana in a comp REL event, so you should use tokens or paper and pen, and who wants to use paper and pen? So use the tokens. Let me tell you about our token pack.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Alrighty, and we are in round number 2, and we won the die roll, so pretty excited about that. We've got everything but an action spell. We even have a bargainable permanent, although that is our pitch to Force of Will. So, Thoughtseize, Preordain. On the play, I'm going to Preordain. If something really goes terribly, like they turn 1 Trinisphere us or something like that, I've got the Force of Will, so we're all good. Zachariah, you are correct. Tokens are better than dice. Use the token today on the paper qualifier for Lisbon Legacy League today. Heck yeah, Newton, that's awesome. Okay, first off, didn't realize you were from Lisbon. That sounds pretty cool. And you made top 4 with 15.1. Yeah, I'm excited about that list. I know that last week we played... Ooh, I like this Lotus Petal. I don't know if I want the land. I know that last week we played 15.0, but spoiler alert, we already had updated it, and it includes Song of Creation. And, oh man, I gotta tell you, Song of Creation makes the deck sing. No pun, I mean like pun intended, right? Pun really intended. But I'm really loving it. It's a fantastic build, and I'm glad that you were doing well with it. I hope to be doing the same thing. I'll play in paper this Saturday for, I guess it's a win a duel, so it's like a 1K or something like that. You know, Clawtooth, I just now am getting your stuff. See Bogles in Legacy reminded me of a Bosch and Roll moment that lives in your head rent-free. Someone cast Grey Merchant against him, and he was just like, Gary? Yeah, it's wild. You just never expect that kind of stuff. Okay, they picked up my Thoughtseize, by the way. That's terrifying. I think it's very, very strange that they took Thoughtseize when I have, you know, obviously a combo going on. So they've also got a combo going on, I'm guessing. And I don't know what that is. Losing against lands in Swiss and top 4? Man, was it the, like, Sphere of Resistance lands? Because that's a little bit of a more difficult matchup if they mulligan super aggressively. I don't know. Hey, Sticks. Yes, it is Thursday. It is Thursday, which means tomorrow you got stuff to do, which I'm not going to be able to go to. Sorry. Not Gary. Shane, the only version of SOC available has art from that one guy. I know. We love a Song of Creation reprint. That would be very good. I'd like to get some signed. Although, I'm going to Eternal Weekend, and I'm going to meet with some of my Epic Storm site writer team for the first time. I'm going to meet them in person, and I'm going to get them to sign my Song of Creation. So I think that that's going to be a nice little consolation prize, if you will. Ooh, they missed their land drop. Oh, they're Brainstorm locked. Okay. Love that. Sphere turn 1 all 4 games? What the hell? Was this like a best of 5? Ugh, turn 1 Sphere in 4 games. I wouldn't enjoy that. Unless they 2-0'd you both times. I don't know. Which is also rough. Oh, they're Doomsday. They're Doomsday, you say? Okay. Good to know. Yeah, they binned an Edge of Autumn. They're clearing their Brainstorm. Wait, they're Doomsday and they didn't pick up this Dress Down? That's wild. Okay, they have 5 cards. I'm going to let this resolve because what I can do is I can hardcast a Force of Will with my Dark Ritual and Lotus Petal, and then I can also Dress Down. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, Zach, I did consider they were Doomsday eventually. Underground Sea is so ubiquitous in Legacy right now, especially in leagues, that, you know, it could be anything anymore. But the Thoughtseize, you know, probably should have thought about Doomsday. You know, they knew about the Dress Down, right? Like, they literally see Dress Down, Force of Will. I guess Thoughtseize was just going to take them off of Doomsday, but they know all of these cards. They know about the Dress Down, so I'm shocked. They didn't even mulligan a 6. Wow. Okay. Turn 1 spheres 2-0'd against lands. That's a rough time. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Really could have done well if you know, sometimes you lose the really good matchups and you get away with something in the bad matchups, but it all evens out in the wash. This is kind of rough. At least top forward. That's pretty good. Or top 8. No, you said you made top 4, so that's pretty good. I like that. The Epic Storm represent. Okay, they're making a Doomsday pile that is needing to beat Force of Will and Dress Down. I'm guessing that it's going to be some kind of... So they have 2 Oracles. That's a known quantity, right? They play with 2 Thassa's Oracles. I'm guessing that this is going to be a slow pile that includes maybe a Thoughtseize, and then a Thoracle for the first one, and then a Cavern and a Thoracle for the second one. I don't know. I am going to have to look through their exile pile. Dominic, hello. Welcome, obviously, to chat. It's good to see you. So, we gotta work our way through this pile. So, Force of Will, Force of Will, Force of Will. So they have a Force in their hand. Ooh, they're just cycling right away. Okay. Yeah, we are slinging spells. Maybe we hope to win against this Doomsday opponent. But they have a Force of Will, and typically they play 2 Veil of Summers, so I'm guessing they're holding up a Veil of Summer. And then they just fetch to thin, so they have 4 cards, one of which I'm guessing is Force, and the other a blue card, and then the third is a Veil of Summer with an unknown card in their hand, and then 3 cards in their library. I'm guessing one of them is... Okay, well, how many Lotus Petals are in here? 1, 2... 3, 4. Okay, so they might have another land in there to make blue and hold up Veil of Summer. I'm not sure. I'm gonna play out all of my stuff, and yeah, Cavern is probably among them. Oh wait, no, Cavern's right here. Ooh, you know, Clawtooth, you're making a good point. Okay. Okay. And there's the 1 Thoughtseize and the 2 Thoughtseize. They typically only play 2 Thoughtseizes, so... Okay. Well. That's a fun one. Really should, No, they don't play 2 Caverns. They typically only play 2 Thoughtseizes, but this one is playing more, so that's fine. Everything's fine. They have 1, 2 dazes. I wonder if they're gonna play another, if they have a daze in their hand. Veil of Summer. Okay. How about Dress Down? Is this getting dazed? This might get dazed. I don't know. If that's the case, we have 3 other Dress Downs to play towards. Gaea's Will. Not really what we want to be drawing right now. As Foretold would be a good draw if they discard the One Ring, which I'm guessing that they do. Yeah, they do. So As Foretold will get us potentially enough to, like, we got a Preordain and things like that. I don't know. Beseech the Mirror, but we don't have 3 black. Okay. Show us anything, but we are in fact deceased. Yeah. And there's the Thassa's Oracle. Okay, I'll concede. That's unfortunate. They did actually make a pile that beat us. Unfortunate. Okay, what am I going to do? Veil of Summer's in. And Flusterstorm is fantastic. Dress Down is fantastic. We're a 4 Dress Down, 2 Flusterstorm main deck, and it just kind of didn't work out for us. Do I want the One Ring? I don't know if I want the One Ring. The One Ring might be the cut here. Because this is not going to be something where I have a lot of time to do things. Sheoldred is pretty good because they have to draw through their pile, and drawing 4 cards deal them 8 damage. If they've taken any damage before they've cast Doomsday, I'm going to be able to put lethal on there. So they can't do a same turn win pile. So Veil of Summer is... yeah, Newton, I agree. We're trying this out. We're trying out As Foretold. This is a list that Jax... I didn't actually tell about this in the deck tech, but As Foretold was included. This is a list from Jax MTG, fantastic combo brewer, and they kind of were like, you know what if Beseech the Mirror looked like Underworld Breach in this kind of combo control deck with Force of Wills and Flusterstorms in the main and all of this stuff? What does that look like? And they kind of decided that As Foretold is what that looks like. I think that this is a reasonable attempt, right? You gotta try it out. I don't know if As Foretold is good or not. I do like brainstorming it back in the deck, typically. But, you know, there's only 4 brainstorms. So if you need to, then you can beseech into As Foretold, and you can still cast your Gaea's Will. So there are points in the game where that matters. I don't know if that happens often enough that it's going to be necessary to have As Foretold in the deck. But we won the die roll, so okay. This looks like a keep. We've got Dress Down. What could go wrong? But they are a Thoughtseize deck. I have Brainstorm to hide the Dress Down. Find land 3. Get this As Foretold rolling. Maybe I'm not supposed to... I don't know. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to rely on the power of Brainstorm. I don't have a fetch land, and I have this Tendrils of Agony in my hand that I want to get rid of. But we're going to see what happens, right? We're going to see what shakes loose. Anthony, yeah, late to the stream because of dinner plans, but hey, you know what? Dinner plans take precedent, right? You know, we're after dinner plans. This is an after dinner stream, right? Okay. yeah, BUG Beseech is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I kind of agree, Newton. I mean, with the Epic Storm, when we were building it, we definitely thought about something like As Foretold. It didn't get to a point where that's what we wanted. Okay, these are all interesting. What if I put Dress Down and Beseech back, and then I show them this pile of cards that I don't necessarily care about? They're probably going to take the Brainstorm. They might take the Tendrils. I doubt it, though. But like if they Doomsday, I'm actually not that far off from a lethal natural storm kill. I'm not gonna follow up with that comment, Dominic. Thank you very much. Oh, they did take the Tendrils. Okay, look at me go. I'm not gonna follow that up. We're just gonna leave that there. And yes, it is dessert. There we go. Dark Ritual. Oh no. Doomsday. Okay. Now, I believe that I put the Beseech on top. And I can Brainstorm into the Dress Down if I need to. 2x will, 2x wins. Yes, we're going to try to find out, Bryant. Absolutely. Doomsday turn ones, I don't know if they're going to win turn one. They might, right? This might be just literally they have 3 perfects, which are going to be something to put back with Brainstorm. Lotus Petal, no, they can't win from 3 cards in hand without a land drop. Yeah, okay, they're going to pass the turn, so it's all totally fine. But this is a Thoughtseize protected turn 1 Doomsday. Pretty decent. I mean, I guess they could. Yeah, Petal Brainstorm unknown wins. Okay. Because, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't need to worry about the piles. That's for them to worry about. Yeah, they could also have, like, Petal, Lotus, or LED and Consider. Okay, I'm not going to look through their pile until it's my turn. Tony, how's it going? Okay. They have the Lotus Petal. They don't have the Cantrip and things. Okay, 9 cards. Let's see. Force of Will, Force of Will, Force of Negation, Force of Will, Force of Negation, Force of Negation, Force of Will. So there's 1 Force of Negation unaccounted for. And 1 Fluster, 2 Fluster. And 2 Fluster Storms. And then there are... We know that there were 2 Veil of Summers. And they don't have them in the deck right now. So Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize. Those are the 3 Thoughtseizes that we know about. There's a 4th Thoughtseize. Okay, wow. And then Duress, so that's 5 discard spells. Wow. Let's see. There's a Dress Down on top of my deck, for what it's worth, all y'all. They have 2 cards in hand, and I can't Cabal Ritual try to Beseech and do things, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get them to commit to something so that I can Brainstorm into this this Dress Down. So it looks like all of their cyclers are in their pile, so they, like Newton had mentioned, they're probably building a cycler pile. You know, I got this shirt on Friday. A very dear friend of mine, his wife is a seamstress, kind of a hobby seamstress, and they had a bunch of fun just kind of giving me a bunch of stuff, like thrifted stuff that they found. So, pretty excited about it. Okay, So this is not bad. This is not bad at all. Let's put back the tropical island and the Cabal ritual. This lets us dress down playing around days, which we haven't seen yet. We did see 2 of. I don't know if they would keep those in or not. I'm not sure. But now I'm holding Force of Will and Dress Down, playing around a daze. So I'm pretty okay with that. This is Paisley. Did you... Bryant, actually, I should probably talk about this. Bryant, did you have Paisley bed sheets as a kid? I gotta know this. These are the Bryant lore questions that I want answered. Paisley bed sheets. Man. Okay, we're cycling a Veil of Summer. Yes, please. Are we brainstorming? Okay, we're cycling an Edge of Autumn. I think... Oh man, there's a Street Wraith. Okay. Ah. Okay. So we've got to protect this. Yeah, this is definitely a 70s shirt for what it's worth. I know that I have the dress down, but I would like to have fought over something else first. And they have 2 cards in hand. Okay, so I probably do win this one. Oh, they didn't have anything. Wow. Okay, so they might have had a Force of Negation. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll take that. I didn't see how many cards they had in hand. I didn't realize that there were so few. Okay, I'm good with all of this sideboarding. I want to see Thoughtseizes more often, and I would have loved to have seen a Flusterstorm before they try to resolve a Doomsday. That would be great. But we're going to keep all of this. How many seizes, Nick? 4. 4 Thoughtseizes. Okay, I'm going to keep this hand. Yeah. We're going to see how this goes. But I can't... I mean, there are 4 dress downs, right? But, I mean, Force of Will and dress down, I'm pretty happy with that. Passing the turn. I like that. Yeah, John, there's only 2 of them, but I would like to draw one right now. Yeah, okay. Well, how about a Cabal Ritual? Probably should have played the Misty Rainforest. I don't actually, you know what? I'm not going to fetch basics. Not against Doomsday. That's silly. I don't need to worry about that. Okay, we're passing. We're not even cantripping. Ah, Beseech the Mirror. Yeah, Newton, Thoughtseize is pretty good. Okay, so I can end of turn dress down, or I can end of turn Force of Will. Oh no, Bryant, you're asking me that. Is my internet shit? I'm really worried about that. I was testing it earlier and it was fine. But I hope it's still fine. Oh, it's still fine. Okay. Yeah. You're making me worried, Bryant. Don't do that. But I do move in about a month. Okay. I move in about a month. I'm going to St. Louis. So, new job in St. Louis. I know, Sticks. I know. I'm upset about it. I'm upset about it's bittersweet, right? I'm missing all of my locals that I play Magic with and that I've kind of learned to appreciate and love and all of these things. I just, I'm really excited about the opportunities that I have elsewhere. John Hamm. Is John Hamm from St. Louis? Oh, that's exciting. Okay, personal tutor. That's all fine. I don't care about that. That is a card negative interaction where I'm going to, I think, oh, John, yeah, you haven't been around since I started telling people about that. Yeah, I'm not going to be around for Wednesday Legacies. Okay, so I can end of turn Dress Down, which gives me a bargainable permanent. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Let's just do that. Or should I just Brainstorm? Oh man, I have the win, obviously, but they have 5 cards in hand and they haven't been cantripping, so obviously they have interaction for me. I have the Force of Will. I can beat 1 point of interaction, but I can't beat 2. Man. Make it have it. Yeah, okay, Zachariah. We'll make him have it. We'll do that. We'll play that game. Let's get the Tropical Island. End step, Dress Down. And I get to draw a card, which is a swamp. Okay, not bad. I'm glad I got the Tropical Island. It's kind of worked out in my favor, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, we're going for the win, Nick. That's for sure. Let's see what happens. I think I might want to Brainstorm. This might give me some extra looks at a Veil of Summer, perhaps. Or... okay. Well, I can put back a Beseech the Mirror and a Dress Down. And I can put the Dress Down on top, so if they try to combo... if they counter the Beseech, for example, and then they cast a Brainstorm, or cast a Doomsday, don't win, then I draw the Dress Down, and I'm good to go. So I'm pretty okay with all of this. How can I do this best? Because I can actually get Threshold off of Cabal Ritual if I... Bryant, you're telling me that I punted. I don't need Cabal Ritual? And then what? I could have had another Dress Down or multiple Beseeches. This is true. So let's think about this. Beseech the Mirror. If I bargain this, bargain, and then I can Cabal Ritual while it's on the stack to get Threshold. So let's do that. Did I select cast with bargain? I think I did. I hope I did. Brainstorm. I like that. I don't like Flusterstorm. I could have had a this could be a Dress Down. This could be a Dress Down. Gary, you might be right. Anecdotally. Not that it's important right now or anything like that, but they almost always have it. Yeah, sure. Yes, this Cabal Ritual is not necessary for lethal. I am always surprised at how insanely efficient Beseech kills are, because this is just lethal. You know, like Beseech, Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal, Tendrils of Agony. I don't need this Cabal Ritual. So... okay. Force of Negation. Oh, wait, what? 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 What is going on? They have a Doomsday in their hand. And then something else. Flusterstorm? They have another Flusterstorm then? Okay, they have another Flusterstorm. So they have a Doomsday in their hand and one other card. Let's see how they work this Flusterstorm. Because if they counter How many flusters? I can pay for 6. I know, Bryant. I know. So that's... Oh, they're countering the Force of Will. I guess that doesn't matter. I guess it's all gonna... It all arrives at the same location. That's all good. Okay. Well... Yeah, second fluster. No, let's just... Actually, what I can do is I can say no to everything, and it's all good. 1, 2, 3... Oh, that one countered. Okay. No, never mind. I can't do anything about that. Never mind. That's how Flusterstorm works. Newton, why would you evoke that into this game? They don't have anything. They don't have anything at all. They've got a Doomsday, and they're going to pass the turn, and they're not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, see? Tropical Island. They're going to cast a Doomsday, they're going to pass the turn, everything's going to be fine. Yes, Beseech is in the graveyard, which, pretty decent. But I believe that the top of my deck is Dress Down, and then Beseech underneath it. So I'm not actually worried about having a Beseech in exile or not. And this Cabal Ritual is going to be able to help me cast the Beseech, and the Lotus Petal is my bargain. So if they pass the turn, and if I can Dress Down for a turn, then I believe that I have a win the following turn. Newton, I would hope so, but we'll see. Yeah. Everything is fine. Everything's gonna go just perfectly fine. Bryant is wrong. Everything's fine. Alright, just so you know, I have the Bogles deck. Okay, that's excellent. You're not wrong, but maybe you're not exactly right, right? That's how that works. That's totally how that works. If I win, then I didn't make a single wrong choice because it all led to a win. Yeah, Sticks. You know, they've got 10.5 minutes. They could do whatever they want as long as they don't win the game in those minutes. We're all good. What part of the vote for next week, Nick? What are we voting on next week? Oh, the Bogles deck? Oh boy. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's kind of janky. I mean, obviously it's being made specifically for Legacy Jank Night, but like, it might be a little too janky. Okay, so it looks like they're holding up a Veil of Summer, which means that I'm not going to be able to Tendrils them. Because we did see 2 Veil of Summers previously. So either they have one in their pile or they have one in their hand right now. Oh yeah, Sticks. I do need to get that Asmo deck back in the voter queue at some point. It might take a little while. It was kind of at the bottom of the list every single time, which is unfortunate because I thought it was really cool, but it might take a bit. Newton, I gotta tell you, it's really fun to see Bryant complain, video or not. It's great. It's just a little bit of negging back and forth. I don't know. I haven't done Doomsday on my poll yet for Thursdays. It's not something that I feel very comfortable playing. It's a very complicated deck. Obviously, you can make basic piles and win the game and everything's fine, and then you get really in the weeds about making super complicated piles to win beat everything, and then once you're an expert, you just make stupid dumb piles and they win the game because Doomsday is a broken combo deck. But I don't know if I still have the skill level to make the basic silly piles that just win the game. We'll see how that works. Oh, Nick, play the vintage version then. I did play the vintage version for a prelim recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago now. The problem with playing vintage leagues is that they take forever. They take absolute ages. And I'm not sure if I have the time for that. If you all have the time to put up with that. It would be a very long stream. Yeah, Clawtooth, the piles are easier. You know, turns out Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, things get a little bit simpler. Okay, they're passing the turn, which is good to know. Yeah, Doomsday is fun for me to watch because I really like watching people make the piles and stuff like that, but okay. I don't know what to do here. I'm pretty sure that they're holding up Veil of Summer because we know that there's two of them and there's just one right here. So I can't win with Veil of Summer in their hand. So what I have to do, I could beseech into a... No, but I would be bargaining away the Lotus Petal, and then I wouldn't be holding up Dress Down. Sheoldred is in the deck. That's what I was thinking. I could beseech into Sheoldred, but then I would be bargaining away the Lotus Petal, and I won't be holding up the Dress Down. So, yeah, but not right now. I can do that eventually, and that would be my out to victory. But it just can't happen right now. Oh, I really wish that it was happening right now. Camille, hey, thank you for increasing your continuing your membership. I appreciate that. That's super awesome. Thank you for becoming a member and keeping your membership. It's super exciting. I hope that you're enjoying the content. I'm excited that you're... Oh, well, okay. They just have the Force of Will. That's fine. They did get there. We are going to lose this one. Moo 86 wins the match. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I could definitely eventually beseech into the Sheoldred as a way to get around the Veil of Summer. Just didn't happen quite quick enough. We didn't draw another land or another bargainable permanent. Alas. Okay, so we are in queue for our third opponent. Let me tell you about how, just like Camille, you can become a YouTube member and support content like this and all of Brian's 3 videos a week, along with all of the awesome community benefits that you get. Let me tell you a little bit about that while we wait for our opponent.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic.
Alrighty. Well, do I have to play Bogles? I don't know. Maybe we do. Storm off when they have no counters. Easy peasy. Yeah, that's exactly how we need to do it. Sticks. That's That's everything. That's everything. You know how to play Storm now. Getting our opponent to agree with us, that's kind of the problem. But, it's fine. Now, I'm so sorry. I do have to respond to this message. I'm sorry. I have some family things that have taken some precedent. I have we're planning funeral arrangements and things like that. So I gotta make time for that, and that they're all happening right now. So we're good to go. Yeah, Bryant, where's the Rogsai content? Come on. Ooh, maybe that's what I can do for stream. I can get 3 other people and we can play some Commander. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Do we want Commander? Maybe somebody should donate for some Commander content. You want to see CEDH on live stream? You can talk to me about my plays, and then we can play a whole pod or something like that on MTGO. You got to donate for it. I'm not gonna do that otherwise. I don't think. Yeah, Sticks Mander. We're gonna be Mandarin. Ooh. But maybe that can be arranged at some point in the future. I don't know. If there's interest and if it gets voted for, we probably wouldn't have a poll for that kind of a thing. We'll probably just do it. I don't know. I'll talk to Bryant about that. We're spitballing here. I'm just thinking out loud, but we'll see what happens. All right. I didn't click play a match. I totally did. Did I hit cancel? Did I hit cancel, chat? I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Well, at least it was a quick match pairing. Genericana. Okay. I just played them. Genericana, they're playing Death Shadow. Okay. Cool. I got both of my basics, which is not nothing. We're on the draw against a... Well, I don't know. I have it labeled as Death Shadow. They could be blue-black scam, but keep... Didn't see it. Okay. Yeah, I never hit play. That's too bad. Ooh, Wasteland. Okay, so they're going to be cycling their Troll of Khazad-dûm. Sorry, 1 second. Troll of Khazad-dûm. There we go. At the end of turn. And maybe reanimating it. I don't know. This is how they make Wasteland a colored source, as it turns out. Okay, we're in their end step. It's time to move into my turn. I'm ready to play some Magic. Maybe. I don't want to be that guy that does 2 Jeopardy references in one stream, but I feel like some Jeopardy music is apropos. Here we go. Complain enough, and it eventually becomes true. Ooh, okay. Now I have a fetch land for my basic, island, so I can brainstorm and fetch. And my cat is knocking things over. Dress down, Thoughtseize, land. I feel like I don't want any of these. Like the land, I have plenty. Dress down, not worth it. Thoughtseize, disruption is not at its greatest, not at the cost of all of these other cards that I would have to draw. So let's shuffle. Preordain. Okay, I'll take it. Wow, it's a troll. Who would have thought? Underground Sea. Thoughtseize? Reanimate. Okay, well, now they've got a quick clock and they have increased my clock. I would like to draw some mana. That would be great. Tropical Island is technically mana. I should have been more specific. I need mana acceleration. I was not specific enough and I am getting punished here. Okay, okay. So what if I put back... I'm not putting back Vault of Whispers because that's my bargain target. But if I put back Tropical Island and As Foretold... hold up. Let's actually check this really quick. I don't know. Is there just one basic island? There's one basic island. Okay. Cool. So let's put back the swamp and either As Foretold or the One Ring, and I'm not sure. As Foretold can cast all of my cantrips that I have, which is not that bad. The One Ring can potentially fog a turn. Let's put back the One Ring. And let's Thoughtseize them. This is not going to change the clock. They could daze me here, I suppose. Nope. Okay. So Fatal Push and Lorien Reveal don't matter at all. Control of Khazad-dûm doesn't matter. And then the two Orcish Bowmasters. So that's a little annoying that this is a really Thoughtseize proof hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Lorien Revealed because that's a blue card. And if they draw a Force of Will, then I'm SOL. So I'll take the Lorien Revealed. And oh, that was a really good, like, Thoughtseize proof hand. Okay, there's the troll, and there's the Underground Sea. And there's another Underground Sea. Okay. I take 6. What do I get here? Force of Will. Okay, so that Force of Will can hit the Orcish Bowmasters. That's not bad. Let's Preordain first. And then the Orcish Bowmasters, and I Force of Will it. And they're tapping out of their Wasteland? Nope, they're not tapping out of their Wasteland. Okay. I am going to force this because I want to cantrip twice this turn. Force of Will, Misty Rainforest. Both of these are going on the bottom. Okay. That's tough. That's really tough. I don't have enough time to suspend this. I just... I need a Cabal Ritual. Okay, well... Yeah, Newton, always here when we need it. I mean, I needed it. I definitely needed it. It's just, you know what? I kind of got rid of all of my avenues to casting it. Okay, they got a Polluted Delta here. I wonder, I'm assuming they're going to Wasteland me. Wasteland, nope. Orcish Bowmasters, okay. I am at 2. Wasteland, I am at, okay. I am Dead, probably. Yep. Dead, definitely. Okay. Oh boy. That was a little rough. Okay, Angus, Okay, Carpet of Flowers, Veil of Summer, all seem good. I don't need Abrupt Decay. They're not really having any problematic permanents. They might have one Null Rod, and I'm not going to play around one Null Rod. Styx, you right. Okay. What am I gonna do here? Carpet of Flowers is incredible. I might want to... do I shave on Force of Will here? Maybe I shave on Force of Will. Maybe I cut Force of Will entirely. Like, this card negative stuff is just ridiculous. And then I can get rid of Preordains. Which, I mean, obviously I'm cutting Preordains. I always cut Preordains. Empty the Warrens is not bad. Thoughtseize, you know, I know that that's potentially a problem. Like, I'm going to be losing my life total, but I think that I want the Thoughtseizes to get rid of their interaction on a 1 for 2 basis, right? If I Thoughtseize them, then they have to spend a Force of Will to get rid of it. And I think that I like that better than Force of Will on my side. Yeah, so I like that. I also kind of like Empty the Warrens. And if I bring in Empty the Warrens, I might cut the One Ring. I might cut a One Ring because they are an Orcish Bowmaster deck and drawing cards. I'm not sure about this sideboarding plan, but it makes sense to me for now. The other option is cutting the One Ring entirely, but I'm not sure I like that. I like the opportunity to have this kind of fog effect. This is almost really good. If I had a green source, then I would keep this, but I'm going to mulligan this one. This is a keep. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put Tendrils of Agony on the bottom. And then I'm going to grab a Bayou and play a Carpet of Flowers. And hope it doesn't get Force of Willed and I get Wastelanded. So, yeah. They kept 7. Force of Negation pitching a Murktide Regent. Okay. See about that Wasteland. There's that Wasteland. And they're going to Wasteland me in my upkeep. Because, oh, what? What? Oh, they have a Cycler? Okay, sure. Well, I'm going to punish that, I guess. Yeah, how about that? How about them apples? My cat is in the way of chat. I did call it into existence. No on the Carpet of Flowers. And here's the Cycler. They got a Troll. Are they going to get the basic Swamp? No, they're getting it an Underground Sea. Okay, so they're going to make this Wasteland on the Bayou fairly negligible in terms of damage. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, Newton, I really do need to work on just shutting up and not bringing the pain into existence. Pretty bad at that. Grief. Okay. Can't really do anything about that. They pitched a Sauron's Ransom, which I'm okay with. I'm guessing they take the Beseech and leave me with the Dress Down, which doesn't really do anything against them. Maybe I needed to consider cutting Dress Downs instead because it doesn't do anything other than cantrip. I mean, it's a permanent that I can bargain. Maybe that's just too important to get rid of. I am bringing in 4 bargainable permanents though, so who knows? Oh no! My Beseeches! Whatever will I do? Win the game. I have As Foretold. I can cast Gaea as well. Those are my 4 tutors though. So my cantrips have got to make up for lost time now. I am going to make a blue mana and cast this Ponder. Carpet in, Dress Down, out. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, this looks acceptable to me. What I can do is play my land. I can just keep cantripping. They have 2 cards in hand. Yeah. I'm good with this. Oh, they don't have another land. They've got 3 cards in hand and no land. Wonder if that's terrifying for me or not. I am going to cycle this. I'm drawing a Brainstorm. It's just going to draw me a little bit further into the pile so that my Brainstorm sees more cards. And they daze it? Sure. I don't care about that at all. That's great. That's a great use of daze. Thank you. Yeah, they can turn my carpet off. I'm just casting blue spells this turn. Don't mind at all. Flusterstorm. Okay. I like Flusterstorm. I don't like the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them away. And find a land. Okay. Cool. So I am holding up Flusterstorm, in fact. I don't know why. For reanimate, I guess. I would fluster or reanimate, but we'll see what happens. They have 4 cards in hand. One of them is that Underground Sea, so they've got 3 unknowns in hand. Oh, I knew about that Lotus Petal. I shouldn't have done that. I should have fetched. That's okay. This is my 3rd black source, so that actually is kind of important. If I had thought about that, I would have probably kept that. So I'm glad that I did. Because this can get an Underground Sea or a Bayou, and then this is a black source with the Underground Sea, and then Lotus Petal. Although, of course, my Beseeches are gone, so it doesn't matter. I'm thinking about that for no reason in particular. But I got this Flusterstorm. How about that? They were reanimating Grief. Okay. They want to be disruptive and put a clock on. That's fine. Three cards in hand. I am going to fetch, because now I don't want to draw. I'm going to get a Bayou. Oh, the Bayou is wastelanded. Okay, I'll get a Tropical Island. Yeah, Tropical Island is fine. Okay. My out is going to be As Foretold and Gaia's Will or Natural Tendrils. We'll see what happens. But my opponent is cantripping and now going to find a clock. So we'll see. Black mana. Do you have another reanimate? You do have another reanimate. Okay. So that is actually kind of okay for me. I mean, obviously it's a clock, but what they're going to do was take 1 storm away, which is 2 life, and lose 4 life, which would be 2 storm for my natural storm kill. And it... Oh, hey, speaking of which... Okay. It's fine by me. Okay, let's see if we can make this happen. We need 7 storm, which means that I need to survive a few turns. I would love to draw some cantrips. Dark Ritual is also fine. We're going to have to see what happens. I can also draw Sheoldred. That's a reasonable draw. That's a very good draw. The One Ring. I've got a lot of good draws. Yeah, like my Beseeches are gone. Where's Peer into the Abyss? Peer into the Abyss is gone. Forgotten. Oh. Okay. Clock. Online. So is mine. I think they're dead. They're just dead. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is 4 spells. I just drew the natural tendrils to kill them. Interesting. They have some kind of interaction. They have for turns and turns and turns. They've had 3 cards in hand and not made land drops, not made cantrips or anything. So they have something, but it's not going to save them. So we're going to get there, I think, this game. So we've forced a decider, and if we're going to be keeping the carpets in, we can bring Preordains back and cut the dress downs. And are there 2 cards that I care about? I mean the One Ring, it's fine. And then 1 card. I don't know, Singleton Dress Down. That can turn off something like the Orcish Bowmasters. And we'll see how that goes. Make those changes. I don't know if they're correct. I don't know if keeping this hand is correct, especially with their ability to discard me so aggressively on turn 1. And they kept 7. But I don't know if mulliganing for similar reasons is going to be viable. So... Ooh, Mystic Sanctuary. So this means that they're griefing me. They are griefing me. They're pitching a Surgical Extraction. Interesting. So they don't have another black card. Otherwise, they would have pitched a black card and potentially tried to grief me and surgical the card, unless they have more than 1 Surgical Extraction. I don't know which one's which. I have plenty of mana. Absolutely. Drawing a Beseech would be very good here. Veil and then Beseech, or Thoughtseize and then Beseech. I'm not particularly picky, just one of those 2 things in that order. Okay, there's their Underground Sea. What do they know? They know about the Bayou. Okay, so I'm going to play out the Bayou, because that's the one that they know about. They don't know that I drew both of the seas here. Yeah, if they had saved the Surgical, then I don't know. Getting the Dark Rituals wouldn't have been bad. Very card positive, surprisingly. Ooh. Well, yes, please. That is the thing that I wanted. Now I want to draw Beseech. Orcish Bowmasters. Fine. Don't care about that. I don't plan on drawing cards. Not yet, anyway. We'll see what happens in the following couple of turns before they either assemble an insurmountable counter wall or I assemble an insurmountable combo wall. Combos or counters. We'll see what happens. Brainstorm, they've got the fetch land to pair with. They might have a cycler, actually. They might have a land cycler for it. Okay. I have drawn enough lands. I've drawn enough mana for the moment. I would like to draw some action. I would even take some cantrips. In the face of Orcish Bowmasters and all, I would take a Brainstorm. Terrifying though that might be to some people. Orcish Bowmasters does not stop me from drawing cards, it just punishes me for it, and I don't care about that. And this looks like a Murktide Regent? Okay. Quicker clock. 7. So it's a 2-turn clock if I fetch. I think I'm going to... actually, no. I'm not going to. Because I have the mana that I need. Okay. So drawing this pings me for 1. I go to 14. This grows, so that's 1, 2, 3, 8. So I go to, what is that, 6? So this is 4. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fetch just to thin a little bit. Thin just a little bit. Ponder. And if I find something that's going to win, which I don't, I could have veiled the Bowmasters. I am going to shuffle. Ugh. Okay. Come on. I've seen one Ponder in however many cards this has been. Almost a fourth of the deck. And I've seen a Ponder, and then that Ponder showed me a Brainstorm. So I would like a Beseech the Mirror. I would like I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna fetch to thin because I'm dead anyway. Thoughtseize. Okay. I have a wild idea that doesn't work if our opponent is playing well. If we Thoughtseize our opponent and they interact, then I can Veil of Summer and draw a card. And that card could be a win. Or it could be a dud. Or our opponent can just let this Thoughtseize resolved. Nope. Okay. They're letting me Veil of Summer this Thoughtseize. Okay. They might have a piece of counter magic for this Veil of Summer. I hope it's a Flusterstorm because I can pay for a Flusterstorm. Force of Negation, of course. Okay. That is not gonna do it. We tried. They actually bought the bait of interacting with my Thoughtseize. I mean, it's not really bait. They don't know that, but we could have gotten there. I didn't think that was gonna work. Okay. I am hitting play this time, and we're gonna run an ad really quick about I don't know. Let's talk about an awesome sponsor of the channel, Card Hoarder. They are how I rent the cards that you're seeing me play today. They're a fantastic sponsor of the channel, and if you want to play online but you don't want to buy the cards yourselves, then you can rent them every week. And let me just tell you a little bit about that.
With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist.
Alrighty, so we are in queue, and I'm not going to hit cancel. I don't know if I hit cancel or if it... Oh, here we go. All right, round number 4, Trogdor 1396. An unkeepable hand. If there was another Dark Ritual or a Lotus Petal, I would keep this. Turn 1 Sheoldred with a Force of Will backup, but I don't want to risk not drawing a mana source. So I'm going to mulligan this one. This I will keep. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to bin probably a blue spell, if I'm going to be honest. And I think it's going to be... I want the One Ring, and I want to hold up Force of Will, and I want Thoughtseize. I don't know if it's going to be pitching the Dress Down or the Flusterstorm. The Flusterstorm is more specifically good. Dress Down is more ubiquitously good. So let's bin the Flusterstorm. Yeah. And our opponent clicked keep before they saw who they were playing, and they're a fan of the content. Well, hello, Trogdor 1396. I recognize your username. You're playing... I don't know what you're playing. Is it just Delver? I don't think it's just Delver. It is just Delver. Oh no. Okay. Well, I kind of wish I had Flusterstorm now. That's okay. Force of Will. Okay, interesting. I don't think that I'm gonna Thoughtseize anytime soon. They're playing Rug Delver. I can use Thoughtseize as a protection for the One Ring, or the turn before I want to cast the One Ring. We'll have to see. I don't know. Brainstorm getting aggressive with the Delver flip. Wait, what? Oh, they just said that it was a rough Brainstorm. Okay. I could have sworn that they were going to flip that Delver, but they don't have any instant or sorcery in their hand. So I know that they don't have Force of Will or Daze or Spell Pierce, because that would have definitely been used to Flusterstorm. I am gonna surgical. I am going to Thoughtseize right now because I have 2 of them. What are they working with? Murktide Regents, Questing Druids. Okay, 2 pair. Well. I'm going to turn the Murktide Regents on if I discard them. So I could Thoughtseize both Murktide Regents, or I could Thoughtseize 2 Questing Druids and then just hope I can counter a Murktide Regent. Their card advantage is not something that I want to deal with. The Bosch and Roll build of Delver. Yeah, and honestly, Questing Druid, fantastic card. Don't get me wrong. This instant is not an instant on the card face, and Delver of Secrets does not see an instant, it sees a creature. I think that the 2 of them should not be in the same deck, or maybe they should be, but in a different build. I'm gonna double discard them. I'm gonna get rid of all of their card advantage, and I'm gonna try to beat a Delver of Secrets straight up by countering a Murktide Regent. So I don't know if this is correct, but I think that it is potentially a playable strategy, right? So they can Murktide Regent, I force it, and then I'm in the waiting room for the One Ring. I don't know. Okay. Delver doesn't flip. They play a Wasteland. Okay. They Wasteland me. And then they play a Murktide Regent. I force it. It's a 4/4. Yeah, that's the other thing. Questing Druid does not grow Murktide Regent. Okay, now I am in a tough spot because I don't have the mana for this. I'm at 11. Yeah, Nick. Okay. One more mana, I can One Ring. Which is something. A fetch land would be great because it turns the threshold back on. I'm 1 mana or 1 card away from threshold, and they found a Ponder. Okay, I mean it was bound to happen eventually, right? We're getting there, but the One Ring is not the win, right? It's just drawing cards. You know, Newton, you're not wrong. Whenever Delver gets completely busto bonkers broken, they start cutting Delver of Secrets. So, I don't know. Okay, that's what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted. Let's go for a tropical island. They have 1 unknown. Oh, they're brainstorming. Okay. Thought it was going to be a Spell Pierce. Was really worried about that. Still could be a Daze. It is a Daze. No. Okay. That's unfortunate. Even though they spent their couple of turns twiddling their thumbs trying to flip a Delver, they eventually did and are clocking me. I mean, I did a significant amount of damage to myself, right? 6 damage, I think. Verdant Catacombs, Thoughtseize, and Verdant Catacombs. Oh, and they wastelanded me? Yeah, okay. I know, Newton. Man, every single time. Okay. Yikes. Well, we know what we're doing here. This is going to be very similar to our plan for the scam deck. It's going to be 7 in and 7 out. I don't think I want Abrupt Decay still. Yeah. The other option is I can cut As Foretold and Dress Down and bring in Abrupt Decays. No, I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Thoughtseize. I still think Thoughtseize is fine. And speaking of fine, I think this hand is fine. It's obviously going to be kind of dependent on Brainstorm, but sorry, I clicked through into my beginning of combat phase instead of playing the land. That was my bad. Okay. We have a Delver? No, we have a Ponder. Okay, that's totally fine. They have 8 1-drop creatures that are going to eventually be 3 power, and they don't have one of them, and they chose to shuffle. So I'm okay with all of that. Dress Down. Okay. Okay, so I don't need to Brainstorm right away. I'm just going to get my mana underneath Wasteland and stable. And then I can use the Underground Sea to Brainstorm on my next turn. They don't play an Orcish Bowmasters, so I'm pretty okay with this. Okay, I like all of these draws. I mean, the Dress Down was fine, I guess. And I can Brainstorm at the end of their turn. I am drawing a lot of the one-ofs. I've drawn Gaea's Will. Okay, so this is Seek the Beast. They exile the top 2 cards of their library until the end of their next end step. They can play those cards. So this is end step, my end step. They are exiling 2 cards, and they get a Force of Will and a Scalding Tarn. Fantastic. Get that Force of Will out of here. And then they have this Questing Druid that they can also play. So they didn't even play the Scalding Tarn. They played a land from hand. And then I'm not even going to cast this Brainstorm so that they can use the Force of Will. Those cards are gone now. Okay. I am going to Brainstorm. This could hit a Pyroblast. It's fine, I guess. Ooh, boy. Okay. Very happy with that. I can put back a Dress Down and probably like a C to the Synod. Yeah. I think Seat is fine. Seat can go. Because I'm going to fetch up the basic island. I'm going to play out a Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual, that's 4. I can play around Days, but I want to play around Days and cast a Preordain eventually, potentially. Let's see what happens here. Two mana. Seek the Beast. Okay. I mean, it triggers Dragon's Rage Channeler. It doesn't trigger Delver Secrets, speaking of the devil. So they bend to Delver, and then they just got a Wasteland and a Lightning Bolt. Not what they wanted. Do they have a Force of Will? They do. Okay. And they kept a card on top. That's terrifying. Okay, so they have 2 Questing Druids in exile that they can play. Their Darcy is Delirious, and I've got a Preordain that can draw out of this. Okay. There's the Wasteland. They can Wasteland my Underground Sea if they want. There they go. They also have a Lightning Bolt. They can Lightning Bolt if they want, which, I mean, they should. And Darcy keeps on top. That's just, I don't like that. I don't ever like that. Okay. So I'm at 13. And I will untap, draw a Thoughtseize. Okay. Let's Preordain. Tendrils of Agony, Lotus Petal. I don't want the Tendrils or the Lotus Petal. I want to Beseech. I don't think that I have enough. I mean, this is 4 Storm next turn, or 4 Storm this turn, and that's not going to get me nearly enough. Sheoldred. Well, okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's Thoughtseize them. Oh, I shouldn't have used the Lotus Petal. That was silly. I needed that eventually for Cabal Ritual, but I didn't need to Thoughtseize them. Using it, I can just Thoughtseize off of one of the lands first. They don't know that that's what I'm doing. Silly. Why use green with Force of Will and the Murktide without beans? I don't know. Okay, another Questing Druid. Interesting. I'm going to take the Brainstorm. cast the Cabal Ritual. Oh, wait, no, maybe I should... Oh, they could have just brainstormed in response to the Sheoldred. It didn't matter. They're going to Questing Druid in response to the Sheoldred anyway. Yeah, that's all good. Okay, so I'm taking 3 currently and gaining 2. So I'm taking 1 per turn until they start playing these Questing Druids. There's the Wooded Foothills, and that's one of the Questing Druids from Exile. And they're going to attack. I take 3. They don't play another one. Interesting. Okay. Carpet of Flowers. Okay. I'm not going to play that out right away. I am going to attack. They go to 10 in their upkeep. 9 in their upkeep because they're fetching. Okay. This is the Questing Druid. Sure. Or Seek the Beast, excuse me. Ah, it triggers itself. Interesting. That's right. It's a red spell. And they get a Mishra's Bauble and a Scalding Tarn. Okay. Mishra's Bauble does not trigger Questing Druid, which is interesting. So now I'm taking 5 or 3 every turn. A net 3, I should say. Are they playing the other Questing Druid? They are. Okay. And then Bauble triggers Channeler. So many things happening. They have Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Well, they put that in the bin. And then they are looking at what they're drawing so they can do a little scry action, which is, you know, decent. Let's see what happens. I take 5. I go to 10, or I go to 5. I'm at 10 right now. I would like a Brainstorm. I would like to draw some cards. They draw a card and lose 2 life. I draw a card and gain 2 life. Okay, so that's 7 right away. I cannot attack. Oh boy. I have a lot of cantrips. I've got several cantrips. I would like to draw one of them. But they're going to cast a Murktide Regent. Oh, a Counterbalance. Oh boy. Not something that I can really win with. This is just lethal. So it puts 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's just lethal. Okay. Well, Questing Druid doesn't flip Delver Secrets, but it gets pretty large pretty quickly when you have 3 of them and can churn through your deck like that. Wow. Okay. Well, that was kind of rough. Okay. Well, let's try to at least scrape a 2-3 out of the league. And let's queue up for a round 5 opponent. While we're waiting, there's a bunch of ways that you can engage in this content, and let me tell you how.
You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us.
Alrighty, and here we are. Let's take a look at this deck again. I know that I'm going to go over this once we actually wrap the league up. Oh. Okay, and here we are with round 5 against SouthrnMagic. Okay, cool. This is a keepable hand on the draw, I think. Couple of lands, couple of cantrips. I got the One Ring going on. Technically, Dress Down is another cantrip. And they've mulliganed to 5. Okay, if they don't turn 1 oops me, I have Dress Down. How about that? How about them apples? Do you like them apples, SouthrnMagic? Don't turn 1 me, and I'll dress down you. Deal? Let's hope so. Nope. Okay. Flooded Strand. They're not playing Oops All spells. Turns out Flooded Strand is not a spell. So, Volcanic Island. Wow, they really just mulligan to 5 playing Delver of Secrets? Sign me up. That's just... Love that. Okay, they can Bauble Trick and flip their Delver if they stack their... Or they can use the Bauble Trick with the Delver and stack their triggers appropriately to have more chances to flip their Delver, I should say. And I'm gonna ponder. I know I'm playing into Wasteland. They have 2 cards in hand, and they're drawing to 4. But at the moment, I'm lining up a turn 2 One Ring, and I'm pretty excited about that. Force of Will backup. Is that worth it? No, probably not. Okay, Brainstorm. It's fine. I actually don't think that Force of Will is worth it, because I would be drawing 2 other cards that I don't want. And if they have a Wasteland here, then I am just super punished and I'm drawing dead cards for a while. Not something that I want to do. So, here we go. Let's see what happens. Bauble enters the effects area, and then in their upkeep, they have 2 triggers. Either the Bauble trigger or the Delver of Secrets trigger will go on the stack first. If they're... Okay, so they are drawing an instant because they've put the Delver of Secrets resolving first. So it's on the stack last. And they get to see what they wanted. And if it was a land or another creature, then they could draw it instead by putting the Mishra's Bauble on the stack to resolve last. Or to resolve first, on the stack last. There we go. And then they would draw it and then have another chance of revealing an instant or a sorcery. As it is, they had... Never mind, don't ask me what's going on with our Delver Secrets opponents. They just didn't stack that correctly. They didn't reveal something, even though they just looked at it, and I don't know. Maybe Magic is complicated, and we should give our Delver Secrets opponent a break. Misty Rainforest. Not a Wasteland, notably. Beseech the Mirror. Okay. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, what is this? Can't flip Delver Secrets? Why even play the deck? Okay, because this is a Beseech, I don't want to burn the Lotus Petals just to cast the One Ring. I'm just going to Brainstorm here. I'm going to Brainstorm, playing into Daze. I know. But, oh, they're in a hard cast the Daze? They might be. Oh. Ooh. Bowmasters. Okay. I got it in my head that I was playing Rug Delver again, because that's what we just played. But here we are. I guess I could have played the Lotus Petals out to play around Daze. That would have been smart. Not that it ended up mattering. They didn't have Daze. So let's see what we can do. Grixis Delver. Is this a win? They have 2 cards in hand. I think this is a win. Put back the One Ring and dress down, I guess. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, draw spells aren't safe in the face of 2 mana. You're correct. However, how about winning the game instead? I am going to attempt to. Put back Brainstorm. I could put back Brainstorm. I mean, I'm not casting it, but I'm not casting either of the others as well, right? These pauses are interesting, but probably nothing. Okay, so talking about casting Brainstorm again. If I cast Brainstorm off of the Lotus Petal, it actually nets mana because it's 1 mana up front, but it's a spell in the graveyard that allows me to reach Threshold, which is going to be +1 in the long run if the Cabal Ritual resolves. So, as weird as it is, let's Brainstorm. Okay, so now I can put back Brainstorm and the Polluted Delta. And I can, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could dress down. Hey Euro, well, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever that ends up being. Okay, so this is 6 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I can do is I can Cabal Ritual, dress down. Hopefully they interact with that, and then I can Beseech. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We have Threshold. They could interact here. A lot has to go right. Well, at the very least that happened. And they're like, oh, silly opponent. They don't realize that dress down doesn't work. Yeah, I don't care. Nice. Didn't matter. Played messy, got rewarded. I don't know. Neat. Probably better to dress down instead of Brainstorm. Well, I was thinking that I didn't need to Gaea's Will, so I mean I did both, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we know what's going on here. You know what, Newton? I will sideboard the Thoughtseizes. You know, we're gonna try this out. Side the Thoughtseizes out. And what are we doing? Are we getting rid of Force of Wills? Yes. Thoughtseizes out. And then, like, are you saying, like, bring in the Abrupt Decays? Is that what you're thinking? Like, bring out the, take out the Abrupt Decays and bring in the, take out the Dress Downs and bring in the Abrupt Decays. Is that what you're suggesting? I mean, that could be good. But the Dress Downs against the Bowmasters is not nothing. Because I could also, like, the One Ring is not as good. The dress down is better. Yeah, I kind of like cutting the One Ring and leaving a couple of dress downs as an out. So I have 6 outs to the orc. Not that I really need that many outs, but Null Rod is a thing. Yeah, let's try that. I know that we just talked about like cutting the dress downs for that, but I'm gonna cut the One Ring, leave in one more answer, I suppose, to the orc, because I don't think the One Ring is where we want to go. If I'm beseeching into something, I want it to be Sheoldred or Empty the Warrens. If it's not going to be Tendrils or Gaea's Will. Kind of talked myself out of that one. So, we'll see. On the draw again. I think that we could get this. This could be our 2-3. Yeah, this could definitely be a 2-3. So we could do this. I'm gonna keep this. We have our green mana for our Carpet of Flowers and something really nice to accelerate into. And then at the very end, if nothing else happens, then we can cantrip to our heart's content and then empty the Warrens. And sure, then maybe they have an Orcish Bowmasters and can trade a little bit for 3 of the goblins, but if we make, 10 to 14 of them, then we should be good to go. Polluted Delta, is this going to be a 1-drop? Is this going to be a Thoughtseize? Typically not Thoughtseize. Ponder? No, Darcy. Okay. I wanted it to be Ponder, like our rug opponent, even though they won the game pondering on turn 1. Okay. They could have a daze. I understand that. Ooh, I shouldn't actually yield until end of turn. Okay. That's fine. They dazed it. I think that waiting is not as good. They just had to have a daze in their opener, so yeah, they did. So we know that they have a volcanic island in their hand because they bounced that with their daze, and they played the Underground Sea. So they have 3 cards in their hand currently, and one of them is a volcanic island. They will... Oh, they put 1 card on top. I hate when they do that. And then their ponder is likely going to draw it. So this Misty can't get the basic swamp. Obviously can get the basic island, but I need 2 black pips for the Sheoldred, and I'm kind of in the market for playing around. Well, I can't really play around Wasteland, right? Wasteland's going to get me one way or another. So maybe I should just Brainstorm, Misty Rainforest, fetch an Underground Sea, Ponder, something like that. I don't know. We'll see what I draw. Dark Ritual. Okay. So I can just change the plans all of a sudden. Do they have 2 dazes? They just shuffled their library. They kept 1 card on top and shuffled their library. I just now realized that. I would like to play this Sheoldred around days, actually. So I am going to still do the thing that I said. And maybe put Empty the Warrens back in the deck. The Empty the Warrens was kind of contingent on the fact that Carpet of Flowers could make red mana, which I don't have access to right now unless I draw a Lotus Petal or another Carpet. So Veil is good, potentially. I like Veil. I don't think that I need... It was a very big pause, I know. Okay, Empty the Warrens and an additional Ponder, I think can go. Preordain, it's actually not bad here. Let's get the Underground Sea, and I'm specifically digging for +1 mana. +2 mana would be, oh my gosh, that's that's perfect. Okay, put the Flusterstorm on top, put the Dark Ritual on top. Okay, so now I can Dark Ritual, and hold up Veil or Flusterstorm, depending on which one is going to be more beneficial. Depending on what kind of interaction that they have. Love that. Okay, there's that volcanic island that we knew about from the days. And an unlicensed hearse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. That's Gaea's Will Tech. Anti-Gaea's Will Tech, I suppose. And it's an artifact. I don't know. Why are you playing unlicensed hearse, my dude? Play Surgical Extraction. We saw a Soul Guide Lantern. Didn't we see a Soul Guide Lantern? Or was that... I don't know. Maybe that was the Rug opponent. I'm getting confused which Delver opponent was playing which random artifact graveyard hate piece. But 2 mana is so much in such an efficient shell. I have questions. Okay, drew the Flusterstorm. Let's play the Dark Ritual. Okay, how about another one? These are so many big pauses. I don't know what they want to do with this. The Delve Monkey and Beans? Yeah, I mean, probably so. Okay, they exiled Preordain and Dark Ritual. That's fine. How about a Phyrexian? How about a Phyrexian Praetor? Is that the only thing? Yeah, Phyrexian Praetor. Okay, cool. Now I have the opportunity to Brainstorm and gain a ton of life, or hold up Veil or Flusterstorm as I deem appropriate. I'm gonna do that one. If they have something like Petty Theft, then I want to hold up the Flusterstorm for it. Yeah. Just be a little bit more cautious, because I think that we can wrest control of the game here from our opponent. Especially since they're going to have a hard time cantripping out of this. They played a Flooded Strand. Okay. So this would be a 2/2 so far. And there's a Darcy, potentially? 2 red mana. What is 2 red mana? And a blue. What are we doing? Are we playing a Murktide Regent? Maddening Hex. Well, I can't Flusterstorm that. Okay, Darcy resolves, and then I'm going to cast a Brainstorm. And just gain a bunch of life? I don't know. Maddening Hex. What are we doing? This is like a year old. This is tech that's from so long ago. Maddening Hex. Yeah, by the way, if you ever... I'll read this. It's going to resolve. Put back the Swamp and the Beseech. I'll do the Ponder and the Swamp. That's fine. So this is a 3-mana Aura enchantment. Aura enchant player. Whenever enchanted player casts a non-creature spell, roll a d6. Maddening Hex deals damage to that player equal to the result. Then attach Maddening Hex to another one of your opponents chosen at random. Sir, by the way, it's gonna choose me again at random. But yeah, this is anti-storm tech specifically, and it's actually anti-control tech, right? Because like, I don't know, it's gonna be a long grindy game. A lot of spells are gonna be cast, and if you take 1 to 6 damage, on average, it's gonna be 3.5 damage. And they're shuffling away my hand, or my deck. That's great. And they're losing 2 life for it. This is quite okay. There's a Ponder and a basic Swamp. I did not hide anything good there, my opponent. So now I'm just holding up Flusterstorm Veil of Summer for the rest of the game, and any card that I draw kind of negates this Maddening Hex. I'm at 23 life. I am good to go, as it turns out. My opponent is not going to attack. And we're going to see what happens. What do I draw? As foretold? Okay. I'm just going to attack. And I don't know. They've got to deal with this Sheoldred. And I've got 2 layers of protection. I'm pretty okay with this. This is a nice little sideboard juke. It's not even a sideboard juke. This is a main deck card. I'm so used to combo decks playing Sheoldred in the sideboard. Like Doomsday plays Sheoldred in the sideboard often. But yeah, this is great. Yes, they can eat 2 cards. Eventually this can be, equal to the number of cards they've exiled, but they can't crew it yet. And again, 25 life. I don't think that this is going to happen like they want it to. Like obviously they have cards that they can draw that get them out of this. Sequences of cards, but they have 2 of them in their hand right now. Wasteland. Okay, that's fine. It's not going to do what you really want it to. I will float a blue, or a green, excuse me, even though I can get one off of my polluted delta. I think, right? I have a Bayou. Yeah, I have a Bayou in there. Yeah. Look, if the Darcy is not attacking or blocking, something is going terribly wrong. You gotta choose one or the other, my friend. Nope. Okay. Didn't block last turn, didn't attack this turn. Okay. Okay. That makes sense then. Because now they can crew the Unlicensed Hearse and block, but Unlicensed Hearse can tap to eat 2 more cards and make itself a 6/6 after blocks. So I'm not going to attack. That's pretty cool. Okay, I understand why you didn't attack, opponent. I take that back. I apologize. I was not giving you enough credit. I hope Now I need those Abrupt Decays. Yeah, well, they're in the deck. I can draw them. Delver of Secrets. Okay. Now I don't have to cast another spell this whole game, and I'm winning. The onus is on my opponent to. Ooh, that might be worth casting a spell over. Yeah, I'm gonna cast that. I take a random d6. I take 2. Okay. Cool. Now, I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I could, oh, actually, I could just kill them right now. Yeah. Okay, so this, is this lethal right now? This is Beseech, sacking the carpet, getting the tendrils. That's Storm 2, 3. Yeah, they're just dead. And they have no cards in hand. Okay. Turns out, drawing a dark ritual. Deal me 6. Deal me 6. Come on, it doesn't matter. Oh, they dealt me 4. Okay. Now deal me 6. Come on. I cast another spell. Deal me 6. Do it. They dealt me 4 again. Okay. Two, and 2. We got there. Wow. We 2-3 to league. Yay. Not something to be super excited about, but that last match was kind of cool. All right. Let's see. I never cast an As Foretold, so I don't know if I can say that it's good or not. I can say that it hasn't been good. I've had it in my hand, and I never wanted to cast it. I never thought about casting it. I never actually came up with an example of a situation where Beseech for As Foretold was a good idea either, but that just never came up. So I don't know if that's going to be a common thing. It doesn't matter if it's popular or not. I don't know if that's a common thing. We never planned on it for the Epic Storm. We're playing an additional Song of Creation instead of As Foretold. Not instead of As Foretold. We're just playing it, and As Foretold is probably not very good. And yeah, the One Ring didn't feel that great. I often was cutting it in the tempo decks, but I don't know, maybe against control where I'm playing up against quite a lot of interaction, then the One Ring would be good, or I don't know. Maybe the One Ring is there to buy me enough time to beseech into a Gaea's Will. That's the thought anyway, but I don't know. I don't like it. We got our Beseeches surgicaled, and then we were on the hook to find As Foretold and Gaea's Will, using our ponders and brainstorms and all of our cantrips and stuff like that. I didn't like that. I like the Epic Storm or Ad Nauseam Tendrils or other storm decks that have at least 2 named tutors: Infernal Tutor, Burning Wish, Wishclaw Talisman, something along those lines, in addition to Beseech the Mirror, so that if one gets surgicaled, you have the other one to fall back on. Obviously, the Epic Storm has a real strong strength. One of its strengths is the ability to pivot from one game plan to another at the blink of an eye. But you don't need me to sing the songs of the Epic Storm. I do that often enough. Dress Down is pretty cool. we lost against the Thassa's Oracle deck. So playset of Dress Downs wasn't able to work its magic there. Not that it's necessarily a bad card to include. I think that it's better than something like a Baleful Strix, both of which are bargainable permanents, but Dress Down being flash, you can flash it in an end of turn and then bargain it away. I think that that's reasonable. Yeah, Dominic, the last match was a little fun. I liked that one. And then the sideboard, I don't know. 8 removal spells seems like a lot. I think that these can be consolidated into cards that do more in multiple matchups. And yeah, I don't know. I think I had a lot of fun. Obviously, our results were not very good. I think that we were searching for some bargainable permanents a couple of times, and having 4 Lotus Petals and 2 lands, Seed of the Synod and Vault of Whispers was, yeah, not great. Obviously, we have Dress Downs, the One Ring, and Sheoldreds that we can also bargain. I would like more. I'm used to more. I don't know if that's just because I'm spoiled like that, and this is a fine number of bargainable permanents, but yeah. I like the Flusterstorms in the main. I don't know. There are things that I like in this deck, and there are things that I don't like in this deck. I don't think that this is perfect, and I think that Force of Will was not as good as we had hoped that it would be. Moving forward, I don't think that I'm going to play this kind of BUG Beseech Storm, but I won't fault anybody for doing it and trying it out. Yeah. All right. That's going to be it. I'm wrapping up and honestly rambling way too long. So thank you all for watching this stream. Thank you all for voting this Beseech deck to be played tonight and showcased. Make sure to check out the polls Thursday mornings or whatever time it is in your part of the world. 8 hours before the stream starts. Might be 11 hours actually. It's 11 hours before the stream starts. A poll goes live on our YouTube community channel, and you can vote on what you want to see me play. I was really hoping for some Force of Will Dredge. It actually top 8'd a challenge recently, and maybe that's going to be what happens next time. Or you can donate for Bogles. You let me know. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night.